Hello, everybody. Very good evening, and welcome to yet another episode of Eclectica, the Different News, the 51st episode. So, as you see my guest on screen already, I introduce to you a very fascinating young mind, an energetic person, Dr. Tulsi Tarase. She's from Mumbai, and we will know more about her from her only. But here I want to mention that why Tulsi is today on our show. So, Tulsi, this year in the International Saliva Summit of India, that is SALSI 23, she has won the Research Idea Award prize for herself. So, welcome Tulsi, and thank you so much for being on my show. And it is pleasure to meet you again. Not inside the interview room, but yeah, again on this public forum. So, how are you?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you for this opportunity because Electica is an amazing platform where you bring people who have taken the road less traveled and have been change makers in their respective fields. So I'm grateful to be a part of this Electica series. So as you said, I'm from Mumbai. I'm pursuing my MDS in periodontology in Mumbai, and I am an academician and clinician both at heart, struggling in both the choices. Apart from dentistry, I create fun content on Instagram. I love to do that. And I'm a Bharatnatyam dancer for the past 2 years.
Wow.
Thank you so much. And today is indeed a dream come true moment because I have been following you on LinkedIn for the past year and a half, and I did not see this coming as something of sharing a platform with you.
Thank you, Tulsi. That's wonderful to know about you, and I'm very glad that you follow me. That's really heartwarming. Well, so
Yes,
I
sir.
think we will have a very good chat today. So, Tulsi, you told that you are doing MDS, that is Masters of Dental Surgery, in the specialty of periodontology, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So, my question is that this is one question which I love to ask to all the people or all the aspirants who pursue specialty in dentistry. Like, was this subject by chance or by choice of your own? I mean, how did you land up in periodontology?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, even I have encountered this question so frequently because I myself have secured an All India rank of 654 in my NEET exam and
Wow.
151 in my AIMS exam. So it was quite unconventional for a lot of people to choose this specialty. However, there are many aspects of periodontology which have always fascinated me. Some
Okay.
of them being its a high prevalence in India and over the globe, but in India particularly. And I always feel that every problem is an opportunity in disguise. So the road less traveled becomes presents with more opportunities. And it has some amazing aspects, like now we are going more towards regeneration.
Correct.
So I think that is something which has always fascinated me as to how on a molecular level we have been working, and it is something which has a broad horizon, right from a molecular level to a clinical level.
Mm.
So periodontology is that path which fastens the process from the lab to all clinicians, and the regenerative approach is going to go onwards and upwards.
Fantastic. So I understand that this specialty was by your choice,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
so nice to know from you that you are so talented and you have secured all in the national tests like this. You have secured a very, very good marks, and I think that is also a point of motivation for people who are watching you right at this moment or who will watch this the recorded version as well. So I'm sure that when you were a dental student, like when you entered your dentistry BDS, right? So when we enter or we are, it is kind of an unknown territory for most of us, right? So
Yes.
so according to you, what are the biggest challenges a student faces while studying dentistry? And I have a tag question along with that because that falls in the same line. Is that what is your opinion about the types of solutions that will really help you think a dental student to progress in an overall way? I'm trying to ask that. So yeah, we'll really love to know from you.
Yes, ma'am. So, as a dental undergraduate, in the curriculum, I have always felt that the curriculum, in many aspects, lacks the relevance of the current advancements that are ongoing in dentistry because of multiple reasons. But there is a upgradation of technology which should be done on a college level. So, the challenge that a student faces is the one thing that we study in books is not really the one thing that is working out. So, a dental student must always be open to learning, but on a curriculum basis, it should be upgraded. Also,
Right.
apart from that, the solutions which I feel can work out is some lateral thinking. Like we have just theory exams and practical exams, so we should have some clinical case based scenarios. My experience during my entrance exam was that I understood the importance of lateral thinking, making diagnosis based on just investigations or X-ray reports. So that should be encouraged on an undergraduate level to improve the clinical mindset. And interdisciplinary thing is something which should be incorporated right from the BDS level, and not just interdisciplinary amongst the dental fraternities, but the interaction with other technical people. Like the huge part of dentistry is based on the labs.
Right.
So in undergraduate programs, arranging something like field visits to dental labs, seeing
Excellent.
the background work that goes on,
Mm.
gives a practical perspective to the dental student so that learning becomes more fun.
Nice. I think you gave very practical thought process, and this is what something needs to come up. And people like you, if you come up and tell about your problems, so I'm sure that for every problem there is a solution, and as you say that for every problem is an opportunity, and I completely agree with that. And I think that is where science grows, or any field that matter. Like if we can convert our weakness to an opportunity, so
Yes, ma'am.
that is what again brings back the strength. Yeah, so that
Yes,
was amazing. So what, just out of curiosity, when you entered the dental college, what were those first time or challenges that you really faced, and that was that moment you felt, oh my god, if somebody would have helped me, maybe today you think that it would be so
yes.
nice. So what were those small challenges that you faced?
In the preclinical work, I think it has been very challenging for me
Okay.
because we enter dentistry thinking that we are going to be doctors, and then we are bombarded with quite a lot of materials, handling them,
Right.
and then that kind of brings down your morale for some time because you
Hmm.
did not anticipate this.
Correct.
Yes. So if at that time I would be told, like, maybe
Hmm.
this is not something that you exclusively have to do it for the rest of your life,
Right.
or showing some lab-based cases, or some, like I said, visit to some lab case scenarios, or designing related work, something
Correct.
that can be done with the help of technology. So
Hmm.
I think that could have been fun.
Right. Great. So well, you are in parodontology, and when we talk about oral healthcare research or research in dentistry, as per se, so I think I personally feel that we cannot segregate departments like that as a dentistry as a science, because it's all about the mouth.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
but still, if I put the question like this, what would be your answer? That how do you perceive research in dentistry? What is your when you hear this word research? So already you are a specialist, like you are pursuing your specialty in dentistry. So what do you exactly feel or perceive?
Yes, ma'am. So, in undergraduation, research was an alien term, and since I've stepped into post graduation, research is everything. So,
Hmm.
there's much better understanding because I've stepped into MDS.
Right.
And exclusively, I myself am not completely into research, but what I understand is research so far in dentistry has helped us make better decisions, has helped clinicians work more effectively,
Correct.
and it lays the foundation for all the clinicians.
Mm.
So it's something we go back to when we are in doubt. It's something we go back to when we have a different case to handle. And when we see how people have already done it through their research, when they have come up with newer solutions to the same existing problems, and how they have compared things. So that intrigues me as to how much people have accomplished and how enormously they have been contributing to various fields in dentistry.
Correct.
So I am not myself dedicated completely as of now, but I understand the importance of at least reading all the research and putting it to use. So that is something I'm grateful to what research in dentistry has been done so far.
Great, great. So you have won the Research Idea Award inside International Saliva Summit of India 23, what we call as SALSI 23. So how are you feeling about winning this research idea, and what was your overall experience at SALSI 23? Though we did it online because of several reasons. So yeah, so we would all love to know from you about it and how you are feeling about this award. Yeah.
Yes, I'm feeling quite electric about it, and and I must say, like the whole interviewing process or the whole pitching process of the research idea, everyone on the panelists as well, they were quite adept in their respective professions and their knowledge. Everyone was very proficient in their own analysis and judgment. So it was an amazing experience because even it made me think on the interview about a lot of aspects which I had not thought previously. So that interview has made me put my thinking caps on and think about a more broader perspective
Right.
and look at the solution with a new perspective altogether.
Great, great. So, what do you like to do other than dentistry? Though you told a few things, but we would like to know more about your hobbies and what else? What else? Because dentistry is not all about life. Life is greater thing. So, what are those things that if you really would like to share? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I truly agree that life is beyond dentistry as well. And I myself, like I said, I'm a Bharatnatyam dancer and I've been learning them for the past 2 years. I
Okay.
started off very late in the lockdown, but I've
Mhm.
always wanted to learn. And in the lockdown only, I started making content on Instagram, YouTube. So I
Okay.
used to mimic and create fun content on Instagram and YouTube.
Mhm.
So even currently, it's like if anyone is to hang out with me, he or she would be spotting that I would be murmuring some real music or imagining what could be done in this particular scenario.
That's great. That's
I
great.
think I think influencer would be a wrong word because
Huh?
it would be a creator. That is something I love creating content, and it makes a lot of my life fun, I feel.
Great. So, what kind of content do you create? I mean, is it like through life, or you try to correlate, your field or something? What is that, main focus of your content?
Yes, ma'am. So I run a page Tumhari Tulu, which is on Instagram as a different page. Okay,
Oh,
and there I mimic stuff. And on my own page, I create content related to perio if at all I feel it's relevant,
mm-hmm.
and routine vlogs or reels based on my day-to-day scenarios. I'm not very consistent at it, but
Okay,
I try vlogging and putting them into reels on my own page.
fantastic. So, what is that other page that you are talking about? That is
Uh,
little interesting. What
this is
exactly do you put it? I mean, if I ask you, why should I follow that? So, you're asking.
okay, I cannot assure you of the continuous entertainment because right now life is very hectic. But I mimic people. I used to,
Ah,
yeah, so so I used to mimic certain singers and create content that
okay.
way. So
That's nice.
yeah, and other thing being relatable content to the this millennial or Gen Z generation.
Great, great. I am happy to understand that you do something else away from your subject, like you have taken up dance, which is a very very good thing, because I think it's a very creative thing, and the type of person, just by listening to your hobbies and the type of mimicry or whatever, I don't understand so much, but yeah. So but then I think that shows the creative mind in you, and I think you should always be hungry for this creativity, and I think that you should try to think in different ways with this talent of yours, because there's a lot of demand when it comes to content and fun
Yes, ma'am.
content nowadays, so it can be your some other parallel way of income too. Yeah, you never know. I mean, it's just about thoughts and putting it up in front of, in a presentable way. Yeah. So what is that thing like? I mean, where do you want to see yourself 5 years from now? What exactly you want to, I know that there will be several goals in life, it keeps changing, I understand that, but still at this present moment you might have that you are forcing. So I would put this like, how, where do you want to see yourself 5 years from now?
That's a tricky question as to where exactly am I seeing myself. But something that I am sure of is putting myself out there, doing something different or contributing to some innovation. And I have, through multiple ways or recently, found out my more inclination towards innovations and looking at healthcare as a whole, and focusing or not restricting myself just to dentistry.
Hmm.
So if everything works out well, I would be doing some healthcare. I'm not sure of calling out that, but some healthcare entrepreneur for sure.
Oh, wow, that's something, that's very good idea. And yes, definitely you can do. And with technology being so advanced with everything, see, today's date is best, because this is the best time. Why, I'll tell you, because in our time when we were like you, just even getting one news for an exam, by the time the application date would have passed. So we came from that kind of place, and now we see that, like our generation, like particularly my generation, we have seen a lot of revolutionary changes, so it's like a shift for us. But then people who are like, who you are growing up in this environment, I think technology is offering such a beautiful platform, and the way it is coming up, I don't think it is something very big that you need to start something on your own. Yeah, definitely there is a process, but you are passionate
Yes, ma'am.
about it. I mean, if there is will, there is always a way. So that is how I feel. Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
very nice talking to you, Tulsi. So just the last thing that I ask to every guest of mine, that because like as I follow somebody, you follow some people, many people also follow you. Everybody has that kind of follower thing, or gang line, I call it. So, what would be your message to aspiring dental students, or whoever is trying to, get into more specialized into dentistry? What is your message for your fellow colleagues or juniors, maybe? Yeah.
Uh, One thing that I have seen is everyone tries to settle very early. And in dentistry, I would say that try out and explore as many things as you can, and then come to a particular decision as to this particular master's or this particular course. So I would say do more of what makes you feel alive, and then settle onto it. And other thing is, as dental students, I feel we are not taught the importance of upskilling or networking enough. So maybe learn soft skills, learn something as easy as Excel, Word, PPT, or these stuff, and you can definitely excel at it and then put it to multiple use. Do some internships like medical writing or so, and basically keep trying new stuff and then come on to a particular master's course if you want to go ahead for masters.
Right.
And in this whole process of trying out, I feel everyone should keep a healthy communication with their parents for until they become financially independent. And they should parents should be well informed and taken into consideration in the decision making, because I've seen most of our parents are non-dentists, so they actually don't know about how much the process is slow. Both the learning and earning curve is very slow and then steep. So I feel everyone should keep their parents informed and then make the likewise decision and not force anything very early on, because we put 5 years into our undergraduation and then we think that is the end. Now we just have to set out and start earning. Also, lastly, I would say that scope in dentistry is a myth. Scope anywhere is a myth. So explore your path and maybe create your own scope so that people look up to you for newer choices and newer opportunities.
Right. Fantastic. Thank you for that wonderful message. And I think it will, strike the chords of many people who are listening, not only your juniors. Like as you were speaking, I was also listening to you. And I think that's bang on. I mean, you have given the right message to everybody. And yes, Tulsi, so I think we will keep meeting again and we will keep interacting in future as well. Thank you so much for being here. And I congratulate you once again for presenting that fantastic idea with mouthwashes and herbal things that you were trying to come up. And I think you should go ahead with this idea whenever your academic curriculum or whatever kept aside other engagements. You should never stop your about what you have found something, at least try for some moment. And yes, I know that you are a very creative person, and it was wonderful speaking to you. And I always get energy. These are all my energy boosters when I talk to you like you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.